And away we go. Remember those Democrats that went out to go save Garcia? Well, they bravely escaped the horrors of D.C. by retreating to a luxury resort in El Salvador. Did you know that? Because you paid for it. And why? All to protest the deportation of a gang-connected illegal alien? Of course, it makes perfect sense, right? Because nothing says save America like sipping cocktails poolside. And I'll show you the video to prove it. While defending criminals. Meanwhile, Trump, in his first 100 days, what's he done? Oh, I have a report card to show you exactly what he's done. He's cutting their money. He's cutting their food chain, shattering their narratives and dreams all along. And they're crying hard in CNN after 2016 now, aren't they? But man, that's, again, just the start of so much we have to cover today, and I'll bring it to you in just 1 minute. So let's start here, shall we? Oh, that judge out there in Wisconsin where Kash Patel declared no one is above the law. Everybody upset that he showed her in handcuffs. How dare you show that? Well, it appears those in the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, at least for now, agree. In this statement released, and at the very bottom is an interesting little line. The court has learned that Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan has been charged with 2 federal criminal offenses, one of which is a felony and one of which is a misdemeanor. This court is charged in the Wisconsin Constitution with exercising superintending and administrative authority over the courts of this state. In the exercise of this constitutional authority and in order to uphold the public's confidence in the courts of this state, during the pendency of the criminal proceedings against Judge Dugan, we have concluded on our own motion that it is in the public interest that she be temporarily relieved of her official duties. Ouch, that's a development the mainstream media doesn't want to see, so you could pretty much expect they won't cover it. No, they just want talking points and sound bites. All about right now focused on MS-13 gang members and illegal immigrants and what Trump is doing wrong.
The person that you're talking about, you're making this person sound, this is a MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes, beat the hell out of his wife, and the wife was petrified to even talk about him, okay? This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands,
sir. He came into our country illegally.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you to.
And how right Trump is as more documents continue to flood out in this case. This filed on August 20th of 2018. The baby daddy of Garcia's current wife, she tried to kill herself. And she left the kids with 11 years to take care of. And I'm afraid if my kids' lives are in danger because she is dating a gang member. But, again, it's hearsay, it's conjecture until there is an overwhelming amount of information. We've already talked, and Trump just referenced about this court filing, or this report to the sheriff, I apologize. Jennifer Vasquez obtained court protection order against her husband due to domestic violence. But we got to disregard all that. But you see, the Democrats don't pay attention to any of this, do they? They don't care about these filings. They just care about virtue signaling. I don't know why it makes them feel so good, right? Thankfully, I sent them packing. Democrats are flying to El Salvador right now. Carolyn Levitt putting this out. Just a reminder. To demand the return of this violent illegal alien MS-13 gang member to come back to the United States. I showed you, so let's replay this because I want you to watch the background here. I always forget her name. I apologize. Congresswoman Maxine Dexter. She's not really important to me, so hence I don't have to remember. Here was her message.
Maxine Dexter here, coming to you from El Salvador. I flew here last night with 3 of my colleagues to demand that Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released.
I think I'd like to discuss something else, though, because if you notice how she's filming that, it didn't make sense to me when she did it. I watched these little details. Who films something like this? Unless you're trying to make sure that nothing was seen, behind you. And so it comes out. Exclusively, right now published by the Daily Caller. Democrats enjoyed luxury resorts comforts while protesting deportation of alleged MS-13 gang member. Luxury resort gotta be nice, huh? House Republican campaign arm sharply criticized the 4 Democrats for taking tropical vacation during a congressional recess period when lawmakers are given time to spend in their district. But they're voted in. What do they care about the districts anymore, right? House Democrats booked their tropical vacation to El Salvador in the lap of luxury. While the American people suffer the consequences of Biden's border crisis, importing illegal immigrant, criminal, and fentanyl into the country, these Democrats demonstrated again they are completely out of touch with the voters, and they enjoyed themselves. What a nice place to go. I am so glad that they were virtue signaling in absolute discomfort, representing their constituents as always. But you see right over here, boy, that kind of looks familiar, doesn't it? Because if you watch that clip I just sent you and just frame it in a little bit different, now it all suddenly makes sense, because I swear that's the same, background. But you see, everything's always shrouded. It's always changed. It's always hidden from you. They didn't want you to know where they were at. Of course not. It was just your and my taxpayer dollars paying for it. Although they said we wouldn't. I'd like to see the receipts. Tell me if we truly didn't. So after that amazing reveal of what the Democrats did, what's your opinion? I want you to smash the like button if you like this video first. And then I want you to tell me, if you took the same vacation they did, with your mission to save those less fortunate, and you stayed at a luxury hotel, what would your boss be doing? Would he give you a raise for it? Or would he give you a pink slip? Pretty easy in the comments. Raise or pink slip? What do these Democrats deserve? I can't wait to see it in the comments below. Okay, so huge favor. Again, as we move on in this video with some unfortunate Democrat violence and then to Trump's report card. I want you to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new here, welcome home. Make sure your bell is checked to all, or else you're simply not alerted to upcoming broadcasts, because they don't want you to hear from me, I guess. We put things a little bit too simple here, which is exactly what I intend on doing. If you like that, many of you have shown your support by joining as a member here, and thank you for that. It means the absolute world to me. Every now and then, somebody throws in a super thanks, and man, that's a way to brighten up my day, I'll tell you immediately. And then many of you moved over to our home, the home we created for you, Lisa and I, restrictedrepublic.com. I hope you'll get there today. There's annual subscriptions. There's monthly subscriptions. You have the ability via your own dashboard to cancel anytime if you want to. There's no strings attached as long as you do it before your subscription renews. That's where we put up all the featured content like yesterday's video. Go really in depth to the concepts that drive what's happening in this world around us. Again, keeping it black and white. And so many thousands on top of thousands of you have joined over there. Now you realize where all the news can be found with no commercials and interruptions. RestrictedRepublic.com. I hope you get there today, please. I want to see your name on the new member list. But now we're going to get back to an unfortunate display by the Democrats. Democrats are doing exactly what I expected them to do. Jamie Raskin there, look at who he's pointing at. In the direction of Jack Posobiec. And because of this direction given, what happens to Jack Posobiec? Exactly what I warned was coming. Watch here for a moment.
That the greatness of America is the right to protest for what is right. Against lawbreakers who take office. And that's where we are today. I'll leave you with my friends with the words of the great Marylander Frederick Douglass.
Jamie, why did you lose the popular vote? Why did you lose every single swing state? Why did you lose? Get off me. Why did, let me talk. Let me talk. It's not fake. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They're assaulting me, you motherfucker. Why'd you leave?
And that's simply something you never want to see, but it's what the Democrats are stooping to. No progress, no results. They didn't have it in the Biden administration. They don't have it now, so we now have violence. I hope Jack is okay. I haven't seen many updates on that yet, but hey, Raskin, wouldn't you want to de-escalate the situation? But that's not what you did, right? None of your Democrats are de-escalating the situation right now because Trump is winning, no matter how you put it. Now, not every result is perfect. Scott Bassent here for one moment.
Long-term tariff revenue or deals that might reduce those tariffs?
I think it's a combination of both. So we're going to take in long-term tariff revenue. We put a process in place. We have 18 important trading relationships. We will be speaking to all of those partners, or at least 17 of them, over the next few weeks. Many of them have already come to Washington. What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief. And I think there's a very good chance that we will see this in the upcoming tax bill. The president campaigned on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and the restoring interest deductibility for autos, for American-made autos. So tariff income could be used for tax relief on all of those immediately.
You like how he slipped in the word immediately there? Won't that be nice? Just imagine when he turns that lever and they finally get it done. Will the American opinion change? I hope so. Because basically this has been 100+ days of just common sense. Bringing back common sense, which the Democrats, out of all the things that they are weakest at, they have a reluctancy to ever accept common sense, because if they were to accept it, and they were to accept that simple black and white principle, well, everything they stand for would crumble. The initiatives they go after would crumble. So in reality, they are bound to nonsense, not common sense. It is the very essence of the party, and hence why it's crumbling, no matter what polls they put out or no matter what the mainstream media tells you. But Trump has a great way of just giving you common sense lately, doesn't he? Listen in here for a moment.
I ended all of the lawless so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit all across the entire federal government and the private sector.
Oopsie, Trump cursed, right? He doesn't do that very often. But it always takes, as I used to state, a sledgehammer of truth to get through to people. Because the world is witnessing a revolution of common sense. Trump's first 100 days, second term is what they mean by that. So let's go through a report card, shall we? Some good, some bad. What he stated in that speech yesterday: in the first 100 days, we delivered the most profound change in the country in 100 years. We are ushering in the golden age of America. Nothing will stop my mission to keep America safe again. I hope the Supreme Court will save this. Judges are trying to take away presidential power. I hope the Supreme Court will save this. So do I, because if they don't, well, this mission may be lost quickly. In regards to tariffs, we have been abused by friend and foe on trade, and this is where you don't get the exact escalation we had hoped for. Because people are struggling with this whole tariff argument. Businesses are struggling with this tariff argument. It honestly scares a lot of people. I have no fear of it. I want the great Republic of the United States brought back to its original greatness. So here's the wonky part of Trump's policies right now. They're struggling a bit. This tariff thing scares a lot of people. A lot of people don't know what to make of it. Why? Are we afraid to reestablish a dominance of the great Republic of the United States of America, a constitutional republic? I know I didn't use the word democracy because I can't stand it. So this is the one that's going to have to play out a little bit further, but there's other indicators that what he's doing is working, and he's doing it by force. 141 executive orders, far surpassing FDR at this point, and I don't think he's even close to being done yet. He's being fought at every turn. You see here the policy area, and then what's the status? Was it allowed, temporarily blocked, temporarily allowed, or decisions pending? And you see this is a battle of the courts. Many of these will land in the Supreme Court. Now, did I want inaction from President Trump? Absolutely not. I wanted action. So on that report card, he gets a hell yes. Great job. Here, though, is an interesting chart that not many share. They share the stock market, of course. S&P 500, you see Liberation Day right here. You see the global reciprocal tariff paused and the market went back up. But there's always volatility in the markets right now. And when you bind your markets to the international trade organizations, you can always expect volatility. I want to bring manufacturing and jobs back to the U.S. That would be my first priority. And Trump has done that. New non-farm jobs created, 228,000. So on that one, I give Trump an A-plus rating. And he's done more to reinforce that. I'll show you in a second. Once we get past all these treasury bonds, but if you just draw a baseline, it's holding somewhat stable, so everybody stop freaking out. This, however, is very rarely covered. The core inflation rate. Now that is gargantuan. But again, not covered in mainstream media. What do I give him on that? An A+. How can you not? But this is what makes a difference. For the long-term future of the United States of America, how much have people now invested in America because of President Trump? Look at this. The tech sector, $1.6 trillion. And that will bring more jobs. Pharma, automobile, $46 billion, $105 billion. More jobs back to America, bringing manufacturing back to the United States, stops our reliance on global economy and global nations, or other nations, which is always what you want. It's what made America great to begin with. It's when we started giving away all our manufacturing that things eroded quickly. On this, another A+ for Trump. But how can you ever overlook this number? Because the number one mandate for change we gave him was to secure our borders and keep us safe. 2023 levels of border crossings and patrol encounters, 2022 levels, 2024 levels. And where is President Trump? Right there. And he did it fast, and he did it immediate. And for that, I don't know what other rating you can give him, outside of the fact that he is reducing the spend in government. Taxpayers are saving $1.6 billion per day right now. Thank you, Doge. Thank you, President Trump. Down 140. Look at the how could anyone look by this? You see what Obama did with spending. Man, he increased it greatly. Trump had a little reduction in the beginning. Biden tried to buy it back. But in the end, who's the most successful now in shrinking government? Small government, in my opinion, equals a good government. But the Democrats are tracking the exact opposite. You know who she is? I know. Go ahead and put in the comments if you know who she is. I can't even remember her name off the top because I choose not to because, again, she's irrelevant. But for those of you who put it in there, and you remember ranking member Rosa DeLauro. And what is she doing? For the Democrats, and this is how their mind works, as scary as it is, 100 days in, Trump blocks at least $430 billion in funding owed to American people. I like how you put funding owed to the American people, not to your own slush funds, but I digress. They're tracking what the majority of Americans view as success, as if it's failure. And we will continue to expose the bipolar nature of our government. And when they put up these fancy-looking charts with fancy-looking titles, all it means is they view his success as America's failure. What say you? Is Trump making America more successful or less successful? It's a fairly easy equation. Because if we went their direction and we continued to follow their initiatives, like Spain hits first weekday of 100% renewable power on national grid. And what happened? What happened was a blackout. And so I'm going to kick forward into why this blackout occurred. It's intriguing not only for the mechanisms that caused it, but for the long-term impact of all those that want to go net zero. Titled it really fancy. Net zero, no emissions, no electricity, no answers. Do you know why? Oh, I'm going to go in great depth now. Over at Restricted Republic, if you're there, you're just going to kick into the next video. I hope you enjoy it. I want to thank all of you again for your ongoing support and commitment to this channel as we have grown exponentially, and that is thanks to each and every one of you. I try to keep it simple, try to keep it black and white, try to make sure we take all these concepts they want to appear so monstrous and overwhelming that you could never participate or have any control, and re-explain to you exactly why you have more control than you could imagine. And I will break the mind manipulation they've been doing for decades to assure that you just feel as if you're a pawn in their scheme. That's not the way it works. That is why we are a constitutional republic, not a democracy. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.